Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful time and opportunity to come to you today to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is a daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is a natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because mourning is a good thing. Super duper excited to have this wonderful opportunity on today to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 146. I'm so glad you're in the mix. We're going to talk about there is life in grief. There is life in grief. There is life in grief. One of the most poignant realizations about grief is that it's for the living. It's for the living. It may be caused by death and other major losses, but it's a living, breathing here on earth in the now human experience. It may be caused. Uh, it's for the living. That's what I want to get to. Grief. It's for the living. It's for the living. People who have transitioned when it comes to grief. Grief is for us. It's designed to help us to process through the pivotal circumstance in which we face. It's designed to help us. It's a tool, right, to help us to get through what we are going through. That when it comes to grief, we begin to know and understand that it is for the living. It may be caused by death, right? And other major losses, but it is a living, breathing here on earth in the now human experience. And this is a human experience that we are all navigating through. This is something that we are all experiencing. This is something that all of us are dealing with at one level or another. We begin to know and understand that it is for what? The living, which means that there is life in grief. There is life in grief. It may sound crazy or funny because oftentimes we know that grief stems from loss, change, and transition, a lot of times death, right? And so we just feel like we're just hurting or we're just going through, which we are. But you got to understand, I want you to reframe your thoughts and understand that there is life in grief. Even though it stems from some type of death, there is life in grief. In fact, it's brimming with the most heartfelt emotions and actions life has to offer. It's such a heartfelt, it's such an emotional experience, it's such a human experience. And oftentimes we say this, oftentimes we grieve hard because we loved hard. We've had the opportunity to love, we've had the opportunity to value those minutes, those moments, and make memories. Right. And because we've had that opportunity, because we had those joys, because we had those chances, because we had those moments that were so high, because we had those when the individual is taken away, man, we start to experience as high as that high is, we start to experience a low that is just as low because we were favored and blessed to have the opportunities to have those moments of love, right? And so because we have those moments of love, intense moments of love, we have intense moments of loss. Because we have intense moments of love, we also have intense moments of loss and grief. As we navigate through it, we begin to understand that there is life in grief, which means that there is life in grief. In fact, it's brimming with the most heartfelt emotions and actions life has to offer. I only grieve because I love, and I love and grieve because I'm alive. I only grieve because I love, and I love and grieve because I am alive. You are still alive, right? And having the opportunity, I think it's the old school song said it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. There's a part of us would never grieve. if we never had the opportunity to love? It's like, which one would you choose? Never having the opportunity to love, or having the opportunity to love, knowing that with that love, eventually there's going to be a loss, right? We begin to know and understand, my brothers, that we only grieve because we love, and we love and grieve because we're alive. Here's the final thought: part of being human is to love and to grieve. Part of being human is to love and to grieve. It's appreciating the opportunity to love while knowing one day I will have the obstacle of loss, right? Grief is appreciating the opportunity to love while knowing one day I will have the obstacle of loss. That's loving your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister. We have the opportunity of love, right? Along with that comes eventually the obstacle of loss, right? And so just as an intense as the love was, the loss will be intense as well. That's why we have to value and cherish the time that we have. That's why we have to be proactive. We got to be aware of grief. And even with all of that, it's still, when it hits, it hits. But understanding in the back of your mind that grief a is full of life and it's full of heartfelt emotions, and we only go through the obstacle of loss because we had the wonderful, beautiful, sweet opportunity to love. Again, the final thought: part of being human is to love and to grieve. Today is day 146. I'm so glad y'all are in the mix. There is life in grief. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Hope y'all have a sensational Saturday. Keep on living. Keep on loving. Let's go.